in Chicago at the United Center. The number 1 seed Michigan Wolverines taking on Nate Oates and the 4 seed Alabama Crimson Tide. Michigan, they just played in the Big Ten championship game here last week, or by the time this game gets played, it'll be about 2 weeks ago. They know this building. Do you think that plays a big advantage in it here, Brad? Just, before we get to the X's and O's of it, do you think the fact that Michigan just played at the United Center for the Big Ten tournament, do you think they're going to be really familiar with the depth perception and the rims and everything like that, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, I mean, I might play a small factor in this game. You definitely going to know whether, how tight the rims are. Depth perception. I mean, UC is a very cavernous place. I've been there a multitude of times. Watching basketball games, seeing concerts there over the years. So, with that dark backdrop, a lot of shooters love to shoot in that building. And Michigan, they got a bunch of shooters, whether it's the Axel Lindenborg, Elliot Cadeau. List goes on and on. They got a number of guys that can absolutely drop in threes. So, yeah, slight advantage I would give Michigan for the familiarity with the building.
Okay, the next big thing is for Alabama, for the Crimson Tide. Are they getting Aiden Holloway back? What's the percentage chance? Because I feel like we haven't really gotten a specific update other than that Aiden Holloway he denied each and every charge, and he's demanding a trial after his arrest for drug possession the Monday of the week of the tournament. So just over a week ago. Wasn't with the team last weekend. I have no idea if he's going to be with the team this weekend. I would say it's probably unlikely, but have you seen anything?
I have not. And remember, folks, the University of Alabama was on spring break last week, and it is mandated by the letter of law with the university that a student held investigation had to be carried out. But they couldn't even do that with the allegations that were against Aiden Holloway because they weren't in session. So with the students being back this week, you would think they would try to expedite that investigation. But I haven't heard of Pete, man. I think it is a complete and great unknown whether Aiden Holloway is going to try out of the tunnel in uniform. So your guess is as good as mine.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one good thing that's come of that is Latrell Wrightsell for Alabama. I mean, he went nuclear against Texas Tech. He hit 6 threes. He scored 24 points. He was the best player on the floor for them in their rout over the Red Raiders. LeBaron Philon, who's one of the best guards in the country, he struggled. Only 2 for 12 from the field. He did have 12 assists. So he did a great job facilitating and hitting all those shooters as Alabama did what Alabama does. And they hit 19 threes out of 42 attempts. Can they do it against Michigan? Can they do it against a tremendous Michigan team that defends the 2? But Brad, I know you remember when Wisconsin beat Michigan, they did it by knocking down a ton of threes in Michigan's house. That's Alabama's strength. Again, I don't know what to expect in this game because I can't predict the kind of shooting night that Alabama's going to have. That's how you beat Michigan, is you beat them with threes. That's Alabama's strength. But I feel like flip a coin as to whether or not they're going to knock them down because Michigan knows that. They're going to be challenging the perimeter. But that's why I feel like this is almost playing out like an NBA game because Alabama plays like an NBA team. All they do is shoot at threes. And it's like, okay, they're a complete wild card because I don't know if they're going to make them or not.
55.1% Alabama shots have come from beyond the arc over the last 7 games. That's number 1 in college basketball. It's downright ridiculous. You want to talk about living by the 3? Well, they also die by the 3. So you're right, man. Those are going to have to drop. Whether or not Aiden Holloway is on the floor doesn't really matter. They're going to jack, I would say, a minimum of 40 trays in this game. If they hit, I think the magic number here, Pat, is 17. If they drill 17 or more triples in this game, they're going to win. I think that's the bottom line for Alabama. Are they capable of doing that? Yes, because you mentioned the Wisconsin game. That's the hiccup that Michigan had in the regular season was the fact that Wisconsin had 16 threes in that game. And you look at the Wolverines and how they have performed in their perimeter defense here in the month of March. Well, they're giving up kind of an unsightly 35.2% from way downtown. So they haven't been locked down, stretching, challenging, contesting shots along the arc. So if Alabama gets some of those wide open looks, and it won't really matter. I mean, Mara could go out there at 7'3", extend the arms with his, gigantic frame that he has. They're going to try to shoot over the top, and they don't give a damn. That's just how they play. But if those triples are falling, and then the other key here too is that Alabama's been an outstanding offensive rebounding team here in the NCAA tournament. They probably won't have as much success given the length of Michigan, but they get after on the glass. On top of that, get second and third chances of someone consistently. Dude, they could spring the upset.
Well, that's the thing. They did it against Texas Tech without JT Toppin, and they did it against Hofstra. They're not getting those offensive rebounds against Michigan. And I don't see how they stop Michigan. The Wolverines put up 101 against Howard. They put up 95 against St. Louis. They might score 100 again against Alabama. And the Crimson Tide's only chance is score 100 themselves. So that's got a range of outcomes that I don't know what the hell to expect in that one. But I'd be shocked if Michigan does lose the game.